Day in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. Thank you. So let's bring in the meantime, entertainment lawyer Lisa Bonner joins us now to break down a little bit more of what was going on behind the scenes. So parse through for me, Lisa, what exactly is coming to form this week with this case?
Good afternoon, Candace. So this week we are getting into the more minutia, the more detailed elements of trying to connect Combs and his business to the larger form of RICO, the predicate crime. So we first had Eddie Garcia, who came in and he testified under an immunity act, where he basically talked and laid out in detail about the alleged crime of bribery, obstruction of justice, and the cover-up of this crime, and it goes to the underlying offense of sex trafficking. So bribery and obstruction of justice are predicate crimes. So in those instances, he said, listen, you paid me $100,000 to make this tape go away. Again, connecting it to the crime of sex trafficking, that is obstruction of justice. So we are connecting the dots there. Another instance that he brought in was the people and personnel from his company, meaning the chief of staff, Christina Karam, and again, the security guard. So we get the fact that he is using human resources from the company, Combs Enterprises, and the $100,000 and the money of that coming from Combs Enterprise. And lastly, the NDA that Jay talked about as well was on Combs Enterprise letterhead. So they are really absolutely weaving the crime of bribery and obstruction of justice with Garcia. Then we have Fisher, who came in as the CFO and talked about, well, I was working with a lot of his business and his personal money, and there was some commingling of that. But the bombshell from Fisher was, again, connecting the dots of the predicate crime of RICO, the extortion to the predicate crime. So we got really technical today and we are really starting to connect those dots that we've heard from previous witnesses. And now here comes the proof that took place today.
So it might not be the bold print names of the witnesses, but it's really getting to the core of what this case is all about. How is the defense countering all of this?
Well, the defense really didn't have too much to say with Garcia. I mean, it was pretty obvious, the fact that there was a bribery that took place because they had it all on the record. So there was only so much that they could do with Eddie Garcia. With Fisher, they tried to really humanize Diddy. Again, you know, we have this tape of him being a monster, of him allegedly committing a lot of these crimes, him extorting money from your girlfriend's mother. And so they're really trying to come back and say, yeah, listen, Combs was a great guy. I learned a lot from him. He was a stand-up gentleman. He brought businesses to the Bronx, and humanizing him from that perspective. But that's pretty much the best that they could do with a lot of that bombshell testimony we had today.
I got to be really quick. Any shot that he takes the stand? Diddy?
Diddy, if anyone would, Diddy would, but he would be best served not to, because everything that he's asked about tied to this crime would come into question.
All right. So happy to have you, Attorney Lisa Bonner. Thank you so much.